Hello there. Welcome to the Blackout Special. So, when the messages come in, I deliver them hot off the press, and this message just happened to come in after 9 o'clock at night, and so you get what you get. You don't get to look at me this time. So, the title of this is probably going to be Time to Man Up, but I'm not talking to the masculine as in the males. I'm talking to the masculine as in the masculine in everyone, because this is going to be non-sex specific. We all have masculine and feminine energies. That's just how things roll. And there's been talk about, events, waves, stuff, solar flashes. It's not from the sun as we would understand that, I don't think, coming in. There's been a lot of talk about this in the last, 4, 5, 6 years. Time goes by. 2016, 17 probably was when it first started coming up. I've had dreams of this event explained exactly the way people explain it more than 15 years ago. Now that doesn't mean anything. Don't grain of salt that, because the OBE experiences and dreams and visions that can be tinkered with. So that doesn't actually mean anything. It's just, we're just collecting data here. But it's absolutely something I've seen. Very, very purple light, very gold light, very much reasonably the way other people explain it. And so myself and some others, I really don't know how this is going to play out at all, whether it's going to play out the way people have said in channelings or in their visions or whatever. But people had visions of a massive tidal wave in Europe for 30 years before World War I broke out. They wrote it in poems, they wrote it in stories, people have found it in diaries. The tidal wave was always red or blood for over 30 years before World War I came. So these things are not always just implanted and wrong. They still could be implanted, but they could also be telling you what's coming. It's a grain of salt, but don't dismiss it. And myself and some others have definitely got the message that there will be pre-waves, smaller little events, little flashes, flashing the hard drive so you can remember who the F you actually are before the big one. Because if the big one just whacked on you, you'd be in strife. I'd be in strife. We'd all be in strife. I've actually had what I would say that I've experienced at least one pre-wave event already in the last little while. You're going to have trouble talking me out of that unless it could be explained in another way, because I know what I experienced. And that really felt like a feminine kickoff, a purge. Luckily for me, I'd done most of my purging already. I was tip of the spear on that one. I'd done that work a few years earlier, for the most part. There's still work to do. There's always work to do, but the big purge, I'd done it already. So I got off lightly when that energy hit. There's an energy that's coming in very soon, and you can put any time frame you want on very soon, but people are already experiencing it. So that's what I mean by very soon. The front runners to this are already feeling it and have been for about a week. So it's building. The pressure is building, and anyone who's sensitive or anyone who's front running, they're already neck deep in this. I was going to say waist deep, but that's not deep enough. It's neck deep. This is going to be a masculine activation. And what we know about activations, because what October, November, December, and now January has showed us very clearly, if we didn't get the message back in June, July, August, September, was every month, every week, every day, the dial is getting turned up. The amplification dial is getting turned up. And so the good stuff is really good. And the distorted stuff is really loud. So the polarities are getting pushed further and further into the corners if you're playing in that game, if you've still got that going on. And we probably all have to some extent or another, but the more you've got going on, the bigger it is, the louder it's going to be. What's already unfolding in the last week, and this is on a Thursday night, and I've been seeing this since, I would say, Monday. So the last 4 days is a masculine activation, and it does not care what sex your physical body is. It absolutely does not. You do not have to be a man to be having issues with your masculine at all. And so if you have issues around your masculinity or your masculine energy, if you have blind spots, if you have distortions, if you have programs, if you fill in the blank, if you have entities, if you have attachments, if you have energies, they are going to get very, very loud because, like I say, the volume knob is getting turned up as we speak, specifically on this. People are already going through it that I'm noticing, and not just me, other people as well. And we can feel that pressure really building, like imminently building into a crescendo, into a mini flash. Like you'll see a flash out the corner of your eye, or there'll be a big lightning storm over your place, or whatever like this. There's going to be something tangible here that you will probably notice, even if you didn't notice the last one when it came in. And there are no free passes on this, like not for me, not for anyone. If there are any issues that you've got around your masculine, it is going to be brought up front and center to be dealt with. And the reason why this would occur in this way is because you do not want to have that needing to be dealt with when the big one hits. Let's just put it that way. When it's time to ride the lightning, you don't, there's no distortion. You can't second guess. If you're big wave surfing and the jet ski tows you in and you drop over the lip and you second guess yourself, you're going to snap your neck. You're dead. Good night. There cannot be any room for error at that amplification. Like, at all. And any snowboarder, jet skier, surfer, freestyle motocross rider, desert racer will tell you at that amplification, you second guess yourself, you're dead. You just cannot have any sort of distortion going on. And so this is the homework. This is what's going to be going on. This is not an attack on you. This is not you haven't done the work yet. Like pull yourself down off that cross, if that's what you're talking about. Like, no one's going to nail you up there. You do not need to be up there. Get over it. This is a message to you. There's something to work on. You should probably work on it. You do not need me or anyone else to work on it for you. You need to trust yourself. You need to not trust the voices in your head. You need to not really trust anyone around you, because have they really known what's going on lately? Have they been much help? Well, maybe they have. I don't know. But you need to trust your heart. You need to trust that place inside you that just knows, where you ask a question and the answer comes fully formed in 5 dimensions, like not just flat, not just 2 dimensions, not just 3 dimensions. You get the story plus the color and the surround sound and the time frame and forward in time and back in. You get everything dumped at once. Whack. And you got to try and sort through it, because it's non-linear. It's just data dump. There you go. It just wells up from inside you. That's you. Trust that. Get in there. See what's triggering you, because it's going to be the masculine. Feminine's already been done. See what's coming up. See what's triggering you. See where things are getting crunchy and they shouldn't be around masculine things. Get into that space and ask what's going on. You cannot be given help in here. You can be given hindrance. They will give you will give yourself, other people will give you things to trip you over all the live long day. You will not get any help unless you ask. That's just how it is in here. It's no good whinging about it. Just know it and work with it. You need to ask, what's going on? What do I need to do? What is most beneficial for me here? How do I do this? Get curious, like a child. Ask questions till you're blue in the face. Of yourself, not Archangel Michael, not anyone else, not some ascended master. Not you. You do not need to talk to those beings. You can if you like, but they've got their own canoe that they're paddling. This is your healing. You're there. There's a version of you there that you can tap into. Ask yourself. You will know the answer. I guarantee it. And get in there and start cleaning house, because it's going to come up and it's going to be noisy. And it's like 3 days of darkness is coming up. You are going to be put through the grinder, quite possibly, if the work hasn't been done. And if it's there to be done, this is the crash course, because it needs to get done fast. We are getting to the pointy end of whatever is coming. Whatever this is, it's getting pointy. And so you just can't have this stuff lying around. So it's going to get ground off you and out of you one way or another. You're either going to go in and ask questions, find it yourself and do it. You're going to jump before you get pushed, or you're going to stand on the edge going, oh, I don't know. And you're going to get pushed. And it's not going to be pretty. You never want to get pushed. You never want life, quote unquote, like air quotes, life. You never want this shitty system to grind this stuff off for you, because it is not pretty. It'll use your family. It'll use your friends. It'll use your loved ones. It'll use your work colleagues. It's messy. It's dirty. And it is not pleasant. Jump before you are pushed. Get in front of the game. Start asking questions of yourself and trust the answers. The wackier the answers, the less they make sense, the more likely it is that that's the correct answer. Like, just get in there and have a crack at it. Because, yeah, even with this thing imminently hanging over your head and coming in, and you've already felt a bit of stuff going weird and stuff's it's starting to come up, and you've still got time. You've always got time. Who hasn't got 5 minutes? Shut your eyes, take a breath, get into your heart as deeply as you can, and ask yourself the questions. What is going on? What is it most beneficial for me to work on in this moment? What is that thing that we're looking at? How did it get there? How do I get rid of it? I need help. Help me get rid of it. Show me where to put it so it can't come back. Like, the rubber is meeting the road at the moment, and now is a really good time to get a bit pushy with yourself, because anyone who went through the feminine activation and didn't get in front of the game and had it grinding on them for the last month and a half or more, they're going to tell you this is not a pretty place to be. So who hasn't got 4 or 5 minutes? Get in there and start getting it sorted out. Okay. Much love.